The lore of Vaesen has roots in Nordic folklore and Scandinavian myths of the 19th century. Vaesen takes place in a world much like our own Northern Europe, where myths and legends are real. With a mostly cold and rainy atmosphere, the location that Vaesen takes in specifically is in the city of Upsala in central Sweden, but ranges out to Norway, Finland, and Denmark as well. Until somewhat recently, supernatural creatures called Vaesen had lived side by side with the people of Scandinavia. Invisible to the naked eye, these Vaesen would help out on farms, keep people safe during long winters, and were even known to lead stray people and animals back to their homes in exchange for small favors or even food. Vaesen had done miraculous things for humans over these many years. But in the 19th century, Scandinavia has been changed by industrialization, war, and revolutions. Factories and technologies are quickly emerging, giving rise to vast suburbs of people that are beginning to forget the old ways. In certain parts of Scandinavia, the supernatural have begun to act erratically and sometimes even violently. The old ways are making way for the new age, and the Vaesen are not too happy about it. In the game of Vaesen, you all play as individuals named Thursday's Children who have a rare gift called the Sight, or the ability to see these otherwise invisible Vaesen. Having the sight has come at a cost to those who wield it, as each person has suffered some form of trauma in their life that activated this ability. You're all discovering one another and are now tasked to rebuild a special organization of investigators with the sight, aptly named the Society. The history of the Society is somewhat of a mystery, as it's been told in bits and pieces, but what we do know is that it started in the 16th century. A small town called Elsinore on the Danish island of Zealand housed an individual named Tine Rasmussen, who had gained the sight after contracting smallpox as a child and spending nearly 2 weeks in a coma. After a troubling upbringing trying to convince the church and her parents that the creatures she saw were not the work of witchcraft, she fled south to Copenhagen. She coincidentally met another man with the sight, Mats Rosenberg, whilst living with him. Tina and Mats, realizing that they shared the same ability, came to found the Order of Artemis for studies of Vaesen that aimed to recruit other individuals with the sight. As the order grew, they built a meeting hall in central Copenhagen, where they soon discovered that Vaesen would sometimes harm, enslave, and even kill humans, with a few members even believing Vaesen were in league with the devil. For 200 years, the Order of Artemis spread their influence, constructing several meeting halls, including one in Uppsala. In the early 18th century, a member named Carl Linnaeus joined the Order of Artemis in Uppsala and became its leader not long after. He later led an expedition with many of the Order's members to study Vaesen to the north, claiming it to be an astounding success, and even going as far as renaming the branch of Uppsala to the Society for Studies of the Invisibles and Protection of Mankind, or the Society for short. Strangely, Linnaeus left the society claiming to have lost the sight, which began a massive debate between members, leading to a giant fire at the society's headquarters that ended up destroying years of Vaesen research. In the 18th century, the Order of Artemis completely changed its name to the Society following Uppsala's example. Many members of the society began to perish as the Vaesen were becoming more and more violent. At the end of the 18th century, a massive fight with a family of giants tore through what remained of the society, leaving only 3 members alive. These 3 members, Baroness Katja Kokkola, Professor Albert Rendenhelm, and Countess Hilma af Thulenstierna, fled back to Uppsala's headquarters, Castle Gillenkreutz. In the years to come, even these 3 members mysteriously disappeared, leaving the newest recruits to die, go mad, or choose to save themselves and leave the organization for good. One of these recruits was Linnea Elfklint. That's where your characters come in. Linnea will be your introduction to the history of the society from her point of view and give you the keys to the now dilapidated Castle Gillenkreutz, asking you to return the society to its former days. So seek out these Vaesen, research and catalog them, stop them from harming humans, and find more people willing to help you along the way. Be wary though, as not everyone takes kindly to people speaking of invisible creatures and such. You may just find yourselves in cuffs for talking of witchcraft, or wind up inside of a padded room if your secret ability is revealed. Lastly, Uppsala. Uppsala has recently become the victim of an extensive fire that killed nearly 1/5 of its population, but has since recovered in the way of new buildings, workers for factories, and students and scientists from all over the world coming into the city. Uppsala is heavily divided, with farmers and workers elbow to elbow with nobles and clerics. There are several locations of note in the city, but 3 of the major ones are as follows. Uppsala's University Hospital is brand new and stands tall as a multi-story castle with a myriad of operating rooms, autopsy rooms, session rooms, and even a small chapel, library, and offices. People say that it's haunted by those that have found death within its sterile halls. The Upsala Asylum is a place where it's said that patients arrive in wagons but rarely leave in anything but a casket. Some patients with money are treated well with meals brought to them on the regular, and some are starved, shackled, and put in confinement boxes. Not a great place to be overall. And lastly, the police station is full of corrupt and violent officers. The one person still attempting to make a difference, it seems, is the new police chief, Oscar Stierna. Because of him, some officers have followed in his footsteps and others hate him. A little bonus note. Remember Tina and Mats, the original founders of what's now known as the Society? Well, they had a disagreement on how Vaesen should be viewed. While Tina believed they should be researched and categorized carefully, Mats Rosenberg was more inclined to just do away with them altogether. This later led to a lasting and even more mysterious group called the Rosenbergers. The Rosenbergers split off from the order, consider Vaesen to be works of the devil, and aim to eradicate them by any means possible. No one knows where or just how many Rosenbergers there are to this day. Well, I hope you found this video helpful in introducing you to the world of Vaesen. Don't forget to check out our other videos on Vaesen to learn more about the mechanics or how to play it on the Alchemy platform. If you like videos like this, go ahead and click that subscribe button and leave a comment about what TTRPG system you'd like to see me tackle next. All right, well, thanks everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.